Hello everyone, I am Muhammad Ahmad Qureshi, working as an assistant professor in Civil Engineering Department at RNG Patel Institute of Technology, Bardoli. Today, in Mechanics of Solid subject, we will go through coplanar non-concurrent forces chapter, and in this chapter we will study some basic concepts related to coplanar non-concurrent forces such as what is moment, moment of force, couple and its characteristics, as well as equivalent couple, force couple system, and most important theorem, that is Varignon's principle of moments. So, firstly, one most important definition is movement. What is movement? It is the tendency of a force to rotate a body about an axis is known as movement. The movement produces the turning effect of the body. Second is moment of a force. The moment of a force, that is capital M, is equal to the product of the force, is equals to the product of the force and the perpendicular distance of line of action of the force from the point about which the moment is required. So M will be equals to P into X. Here, this is your P force and its line of action is in this direction. So, the moment of a force is equals to the product of the force, that is here is P force, and the perpendicular distance of the line of action of force, means this point or this line from the point. So here our point is O, about which the moment is required. Hence, we can simply write that moment is nothing but force into perpendicular distance. Here, capital M is moment, P is your force, and X is the perpendicular distance between the line of action of force and the point about which the moment is required. Basically, this moment produce the turning effect on the body. Hence, we may say that types of movement are of two types. First is your clockwise movement and second is your anti-clockwise movement. This movement rotates the body. This movement creates the rotation of the body. Hence, this rotation may be in the clockwise direction or may be in the anti-clockwise direction. Suppose this is your P force and its line of action is over here and the perpendicular distance is x, and if the moment is taken from point O, then this moment rotates the body in clockwise direction. Your this P force is going towards your point O from where our moment is taken. So this will rotates the body in clockwise direction. Hence, this type of movement is known as clockwise movement. Suppose here your P force is over here and it makes the perpendicular distance x, and we have to take the moment about point O, then this P force will be moved towards this point. Hence, this direction is nothing but our anti-clockwise direction, and hence this movement rotates the body in anti-clockwise direction. So here is your clockwise direction and the another one is anti-clockwise direction. Simply, your movement are of two types. First is your clockwise movement and second is your anti-clockwise movement. Clockwise movement rotates the body in clockwise direction, whereas anti-clockwise movement rotates the body in anti-clockwise direction. Hence, we may say that what is your movement? Your movement is nothing but m equals to p into x. Hence, the unit of force is maybe Newton or it may be kilonewton, and the unit of distance will be in meter. Hence, we may say that the unit of moment is nothing but Newton into meter or kilonewton into meter. So, let us take the example of moment. First example is to tighten the nut by spanner, and second example is to open or close the door. These both example are of movement. Then remember one thing, generally the clockwise movement is taken as positive. This is the sign for clockwise movement. Clockwise movement is taken as positive, whereas anti-clockwise movement is taken as negative. Remember this sign. This sign will be helpful for us while solving the examples. Now we will go for couple. What is couple? Two equal. Here is your P force and here is also your P force. Both force are equal. P force. Two equal and opposite forces. Look here, the sign is opposite. Both are in opposite direction. Whose lines of action are different. This P force has line of action over here and this P force has line of action over here. Both forces are equal and opposite forces whose lines of action are different, then they form a couple. So remember one thing, resultant or net force of a couple is always remain zero. Hence, the couple acting on a body do not create any translatory motion of the body. Remember this thing, couple do not create translatory motion of any body. Couple produces only rotational movement. Couple produces only rotational motion of the body. Likewise, movement couples are also of two types. First is your clockwise couple and second is your anti-clockwise couple. Clockwise couple rotates the body in clockwise direction. Suppose this is your P force, then it will rotate the body like this. Similarly, this force will rotate the body like this. Hence, its direction is clockwise. Hence, this type of couple is known as clockwise couple. It rotates the body in clockwise direction and it is taken as positive. Remember this thing. As well as for anti-clockwise couple, it rotates the body like this, means in anti-clockwise direction. Hence, anti-clockwise couple rotates the body in anti-clockwise direction and hence it is taken as negative. So, one more thing, the perpendicular distance between the lines of action of two forces. This is your perpendicular distance, this is your perpendicular distance. The perpendicular distance between the lines of action of two forces. Here is your P force and here is your P force. Forming the couple is known as arm of the couple. This A is nothing but your arm of couple. So, what is arm of couple? The perpendicular distance, as we discussed in the previous slide, the perpendicular distance between the lines of action of two forces forming the couple is known as your arm of couple. Next is your moment of couple. What is moment of couple? Moment of couple is nothing but force into arm of a couple. So moment of a couple will be exactly equals to these two parameters, force that is P and arm of a couple. So we may write that moment of couple equals to M equals to P into A. So the unit of moment of couple will be Newton into meter or kilonewton into meter. Now let us discuss the examples of couple. So first example will be force applied to the key of a lock. Force applied to the key of a lock while locking or unlocking. Then this may be termed as couple. Next will be your steering wheel of a car. Whenever we applied the forces on the steering wheel of a car by two hands to steer the car towards left or right, it forms a couple. And the third one will be to open or close the valve of water supply pipeline. This is also forming a couple. Hence, there are three examples for couple. First is your forces applied to the key of a lock while locking or unlocking it. Second is your forces applied on the steering wheel of a car by two hands to steer the car towards left or right. And the third one is to open or close the wheel valve of a water supply pipeline. So this is the two basic definition. First is your arm of couple and second is your movement of a couple. Now we will go for characteristics of a couple. Generally, a couple has following characteristics. First is your the algebraic sum of forces we had seen earlier forming the couple is 0. Remember this thing. The algebraic sum of forces, as we know that in couple both the forces are equal and opposite, whose lines of action are different. Hence, the algebraic sum of the forces forming the couple will always remain 0. Next is the algebraic sum of moment of the forces forming the couple about any point is same and equal to the moment of couple itself. So, what is this? The algebraic sum of moment of the forces forming the couple about any point. So, let us take here as the point O. So, this is your O point, and this is equals to the moment of the couple itself. So what is the moment of couple? We discussed in the previous slide that moment of couple will be equals to M equals to force into arm of a couple. So here the moment of couple is nothing but force into arm of a couple. And here let us take this parameter, that is the algebraic sum of moment of the forces forming the couple taking the moment about point O. So we are taking the moment about point O. Hence, we may write that moment at point O equals to, we will take, this is your distance x, we will take first this P force. So MAO will be equals to P into force into perpendicular distance. We are taking the moment about this point. Hence, our perpendicular distance for this P force will be equals to A plus X. So M equals to P into A plus X, as this is going towards point O in clockwise direction, hence it will be plus. So here MO equals to plus PA into X. Now we will go for this P force. Whenever this force move towards point O, it will goes in anti-clockwise direction. Hence it will be our negative force, and hence we may write that minus P into the perpendicular distance with respect to point O is nothing but x. So here minus P into x. So after solving this, that is PA plus PX minus PX, you will get MO equals to PA. And what is this MO equals to PA? It is nothing but the algebraic sum of moment of the forces forming the couple. Means this is for this figure, that is MO equals to PA. And as we discussed in the second step, that the summation of moment of the forces forming the couple about any point O is equals to the moment of the couple itself, and hence we may say that M equals to PA and M0 equals to PA. Hence we may say that the moment of couple equals to M equals to M0 equals to P into A. Now we will go for third characteristics of couple. So third characteristic is that a couple cannot be balanced by a single force, but can be balanced only by a couple, but of opposite nature. What is our third characteristics? A couple can't be balanced by a single force, but can be balanced by a couple, but of opposite nature. So our fourth characteristics will be, if a number of coplanar couples are acting on the body, if a number of coplanar couples are acting on the body, then they can be reduced to a single couple, then they can be reduced to a single couple whose magnitude will be equals to the algebraic sum of moment of all the couples. If a number of coplanar couples are acting on the body, then they can be reduced to a single couple whose magnitude will be equals to the algebraic sum of moment of all the couples. And lastly, that is fifth characteristics, a couple will not give linear motion to the body. As we discussed in the previous slide, it will rotate the body, but it will not give linear motion to any body. Now we will go for difference between moment and couple. As we discussed earlier, what is moment? Moment is nothing but force into perpendicular distance. And what is couple? Two equal and opposite forces whose lines of action are different form a couple. And we had seen that movement is produced by a single force not passing through CG of the body, whereas couple is produced by two equal and opposite parallel non-collinear forces. The force in movement, the force move the body in the direction of the force and rotate the body, whereas in the couple the resultant force is zero, hence the body does not move but it's rotate only. Now, the fourth point in movement is to balance the force causing the movement, equal and opposite force is required. Whereas in case of couple, couple can't be balanced by a single force, it can be balanced by a couple only. And here is the example of movement: to tighten the nut by spanner, to open or close the door, and in couple to rotate the key in the lock while locking or unlocking it, and to rotate the steering wheel of a car by two hands to steer the car towards left or right. So here is the main difference between the movement and couple. Next, we will go for equivalent couples. Remember this thing. Couples are said to be equivalent couples if they produce similar effects on a body. Couples are said to be equivalent couples if they produce similar effects on a body. So for this concept, we had assumed three different systems. This is your first system, this is your second system, and this is your third system. So acting on a rectangular block as shown in figure. Now, in the three cases here, all the couples produce a moment of 20,000 Newton into mm, 20,000 Newton into mm, and 20,000 Newton into mm. In all the three cases, all the couples produce the same moment. Hence, these three couples are called equivalent couples. Look here, 200 Newton, 200 Newton. These two forces form a couple as both are in opposite direction, and it produces a moment of 20,000 Newton into mm. Here also same, 400 Newton, 400 Newton. Both are forming the couple and it produces a moment of 20,000 Newton into mm. And here in this case also 178.89 and 178.89 Newton. Both forces are forming the couple and produce a moment exactly equals to case 1 and 2, that is 20,000 Newton into mm. Hence these three couples are called equivalent couples. They produce similar effects on a body. Now we will go for force couple system. So what is force couple system? The name itself suggests that a system which comprises of force along with the couple is known as force couple system. So here, what do you mean by force couple system? When a system consists of forces along with moments or couple, it is known as force couple system. Remember this word. This concept is helpful in shifting of a force away from its line of action. So we may classify these by solving the force couple system as given in the figure. Here a given force F is applied to a body at any point A. Here is your force F and its line of action is here. So a given force F is applied to a body at any point A. Now, this force can always be replaced by an equal force applied at another point B together with a couple. So, here is your second figure. And in such case, with a couple which will be equivalent to the original force. So, here at a point force F is there and I am providing a equivalent couple force F at another point that is B and which will be to the original force. So force F is acting at point A. We want to shift the force F from A to B. So apply two equal and opposite forces. Here both are equal and opposite. So I had applied two equal and opposite forces at point B, which is parallel to force F. The magnitude of that force must be equals to the force F acting at A. So both the magnitude are same. So here look at this figure, figure number B. I had applied the same force of equal magnitude at point B. Now, let us move further. Let x is the perpendicular distance between the line of action of forces. So, the force at A and the force in opposite direction at B means I am talking about this force. Force at A and the force in opposite direction at B. This forms a couple of magnitude F into X as shown in figure here. Hence, thus a single force F acting at A is replaced by a force couple system acting at B. Hence, this is your force couple system. Now we will go for law of moments, or we may say that Varignon's principle of moment. This is the most important theorem for solving the coplanar non-concurrent forces, as it states that if a number of coplanar forces are acting simultaneously. Here two forces are there, force P and force Q, acting simultaneously on a particle. Both forces are acting at point A, represented in magnitude and direction by AB. Point P is denoted by AB and point Q is denoted by AC as shown here. So in such case, the algebraic sum of moment of all the forces about any point is equals to the moment of the resultant force about the same point. Simply just remember this concept that the algebraic sum of moment of all the forces will be equals to the moment of their resultant force about the same point. So here our point is A. So this is your law of moments. Let us discuss further in law of moments. Here there are two forces, force P and force Q. Both are acting at point A, represented in magnitude and direction by side AB and AC as shown in figure. Now, let us consider the point O. So, let O be the point about which the moments are taken. From O point, we have to take our moment. So through O, draw a line CD parallel to the direction of force P. So here we have to draw a line CD parallel to the direction of force P to meet the line of action of Q at C. To meet the line of action of Q at C. Now with AB and AC as two adjacent sides, we have to complete the parallelogram A, B, D, and C. Now join the diagonal AD, that is this diagonal of the parallelogram, and OA and OB. We had just joined the diagonal AD of the parallelogram and OA and OB. Here, the diagonal AD represents in magnitude and direction the resultant of the two forces, that is P force and Q force. Now, we have to take the moment about point O. So, taking the moment of forces P, Q, and R about point O. So, for first case, we will take the moment of force P about point O. So, we are talking about this P force and we are taking moment about point O. So, it will be equals to 2 into area of triangle AOB. So area of triangle AOB. Give as equation number 1. Now we will go for moment of Q force about point O. So this will be equals to 2 into area of triangle AOC. Give it equation number 2. We are talking about AOC for Q force. Now similarly, we will go for moment of resultant R about O. So we have to go for A, O, and D triangle. So this will be equals to 2 into area of triangle AOD. Give as equation number 3. Now, from the geometry of the figure, that is area of triangle, we will go here. Now, from the geometry of the figure, we may say that area of triangle AOD equals to, means area of triangle AOD will be equals to area of triangle AOC plus area of triangle ACD. So we will write here area of triangle AOD equals to area of triangle AOC plus area of triangle ACD. So here two triangles AOB. Here I am talking about AOB and ADB are on the same base, that is AB are on the same base AB and between the same parallel lines. Therefore, area of triangle AOD equals to area of triangle AOC plus area of triangle AOD equals to area of triangle AOC plus area of triangle AOB. Here is your ACD, and this will be equals to AOB as having the same base, that is AB. So multiplying both side by 2, you will get 2 into area of triangle AOD equals to 2 into area of triangle AOC plus 2 into area of triangle AOB. So this will be nothing but 2 into area of triangle AOD, 2 into area of triangle AOD is nothing but your moment of resultant force. So we may write that here moment of force R about O equals to moment of force P about O plus moment of force Q about O. So here we had considered only two forces, but this principle can be extended for any number of forces. So this is our law of moments. What does it states? It states that if a number of coplanar forces are acting simultaneously on a particle, the algebraic sum of moment of the forces about any point is equal to the moment of the resultant force about the same point. So this is the law of moments, or we may say that Varignon's theorem of moments. Now, for coplanar concurrent forces, remember the three conditions. For if a body is acted upon by a number of coplanar non-concurrent forces, it may have three conditions. First condition is the body may move in any one direction. The body moves in any direction, it means that there is a resultant force acting on it. Hence, we may say that there is a resultant force acting on it, and if the body is said to be at rest or in equilibrium, the resultant force causing the movement must be zero. Means little considerations will show that if the body is at rest or in equilibrium, then this resultant force causing the movement must be equals to zero. Hence, in such case, your sigma h will be equals to 0 and sigma v will be equals to 0. And the second condition is that the body may rotate about itself without moving. So, if the body rotates about itself without moving, it means that there is a single resultant couple acting on it. And if the body is at rest or equilibrium, the moment of the couple causing the rotation must be equals to 0. Hence, for second condition, we may write that summation of m will be equals to 0. And the third condition is that the body may move in any one direction, and at the same time it may also rotate about itself. Means here it is clear that if the body moves in any direction and at the same time it rotates about itself, it means that there is a resultant force and also a resultant couple acting on it, and for such case the body may be at rest or at equilibrium. The resultant force causing the movement and the resultant movement of the couple causing the rotation must be zero. It means that sigma h, sigma v, sigma m will be equals to 0. And the last condition is that the body may be completely at rest. If the body is completely at rest, it means that there is neither your resultant force nor a couple acting on it, and hence in this condition your sigma h will be equals to 0, sigma v will be 0, and summation of moment will also be equals to 0. So these are the conditions of equilibrium for coplanar non-concurrent forces. What is our first condition? The body may move in any one direction, and if the body is at to be rest or in equilibrium, then the resultant must be causing the movement is 0. Hence, we may say that sigma h equals to 0 and sigma v equals to 0. If the body rotates about itself, it means that the moment of the couple causing the rotation must be 0. And our third condition is that if the body moves in any one direction and rotate about itself, then the resultant force causing the movement and the resultant movement of the couple causing the rotation must be 0. And in last condition, if the body is completely at rest, it means that there is neither a resultant force nor a couple acting on it, and hence in this condition we may say that sigma h equals to 0, sigma v equals to 0, and sigma m equals to 0. So these are the basic concepts for coplanar non-concurrent forces. In our next lecture, we will study the examples on moment of force. Thank you.